First 2 years at least that you're lifting, you should try to be in a small surplus. You need to build that foundation. Real quick, before this video starts, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, each and every one of you individually, for helping support me on this whole journey. We're about to hit 10,000 subscribers, and it's crazy because at the beginning of the year, I wrote down on my whiteboard here in my room, I wanted to hit 10K on YouTube, and we're about to hit it. So thank you guys for all of the support. Let's keep it going. Big things coming. Hope you enjoyed the video. What is going on, guys? Alex Eubank here, coming at you with another YouTube video. Today's video is going to be the things that I wished I knew when I first started lifting weights. Alright, so I started working out when I was around 16 years old. I believe it was my junior year of high school, I'm pretty sure. I think around April to May of 2016. And I got into calisthenics, which is like body weight only movements. If you don't know what that is, like front levers, muscle ups, a ton of pull-ups and push-ups, like really high rep volume stuff you can do just at home. And I got super shredded. A big part of that was because I did keto. I didn't know what keto was back then, but I thought carbs were bad, so I did not eat any carbs whatsoever. And yes, I got really lean off of it, but that's gonna be the first thing I'm gonna talk about real quick is carbs are not bad for you. If you are a beginning lifter, you definitely should be taking advantage of eating a lot of carbs. The more carbs you have, the more your body's gonna be fueled to be able to lift heavier, to have better training sessions. You'll be able to have a better pump, you'll have better fullness. Carbs are very important. It's probably one of the most important things. Just as important, I'd say, as protein is when it comes to actually like bodybuilding on a level where you actually want to build solid mass and a good physique. If you eat carbs before bed, you're not going to get fat from it. You can do that. It is fine. As long as you're eating like at maintenance or in a deficit, you can still lose fat even if you eat carbs or food right before you go to sleep. Now, but there is not all carbs are like created equally, right? So there's a difference between like sugars, having like long grain stuff, like whole grain rice, like white rice, versus brown rice. There's these things called a glycemic index. So what a glycemic index is basically how fast your body can kind of digest it and how fast it's going to spike your insulin. The higher insulin kind of gets spikes, it's kind of bad because it can lead to like fat storage and stuff like that. So what I recommend, or it's different how your body kind of digests it. I recommend having lower GI foods. So that'd be like brown rice over white rice. It'd be like having whole grain stuff over like regular stuff. So simple things like that. Second thing is going to be training volume and intensity. When I first started lifting weights, I was on a bro split. What a bro split is basically you hit each muscle group once a week. So I'm banging out chest like Monday, and I don't hit chest again until next week on Monday. But on that day that you're hitting just chest, you're hitting like 25 to 30 sets of exercise of volume for that muscle group. It's what a lot of common lifters do in the beginning. They have like those little chest days, back days, shoulder days. You don't need all that volume for one muscle in that time frame. So you're really doing more harm than anything. That's why I really wish that I would have gotten on a push-pull leg split instead of doing a bro split for my first 2 years of lifting. I believe I would have had better gains actually doing that. It's been shown scientifically as well that if you hit the muscle 2 to 3 times per week, it has better chances of having better growth rather than hitting it just once, because it's been shown in studies 12 to like 15 sets max for a 15 is kind of even overshooting it for a muscle group in one exercise or one day is more than enough to get enough growth in it. When we think about it logically too, if I was to do a bro split, I'm only hitting chest 4 times in a period of 1 month. If I'm doing push-pull leg, I'm hitting it 8 times. It gives it 8 times for it to grow rather than 4 times. So I hope that makes some sense to you. As long as you're training pretty intense on those push-pull leg splits, for example, you're still getting a good amount of volume. I'm still hitting, for example, I'll hit 25-ish sets per week for my chest. But I have 2 different days of the week I'm working it. 2 different days of the week I'm tearing those fibers down and rebuilding it. So don't get on a bro split. Don't do too much volume, especially as a beginner. You don't need that much volume to grow. Maybe when you're more advanced, you can start increasing that volume. But if you start off with a high base of volume, it's not smart. Third thing is going to be heavy lifting. So a lot of you guys know that I'm not really a big advocate of heavy lifting. I never really was super big on it, but I see a lot of younger kids and teenagers that get super hyped up over PRs. Now, if you want to train that way and you want to go for strength and stuff like that, by all means, go for that. Train for strength. Go on the low rep ranges. But a lot of those guys don't know that want to have like a good physique, like, oh, I want to get good muscle mass, I want to build aesthetics and stuff like that. You need to understand that you need to be going in a little bit higher of a rep range. You don't have to lift that heavy to get really good aesthetics. I've never really been big on that. For me, I say my solid rep range I always trained around was anywhere from like 6 when I was 6 for like maybe 1 set, like a heavier set. And then I'll go up to 15 sometimes on a lot of my sets. Really big on time under tension. Make sure you actually actively feel your muscle fibers work. One of the big reasons I didn't take weights class in high school is because all they do is just do those powerlifting stuff. They do like strength building stuff. They never focus on actually using the muscle fibers you want to build There were some kids that I went to school with who had a crazy big bench press, but their chest looked like shit. That's because these guys don't teach you how to actively use their chest. A lot of the guys in high school are going to teach you how to use your body mechanics to lift the most amount of weight, but not going to teach you how to utilize your chest to move that weight, right? So for example, for me, I'm really big on stuff like pre-exhaustion techniques, getting a really good pump before you go into a lift, because therefore, if you already have a little bit of a pump in your chest, when you go to that bench press, you're going to feel it activating way more than if you go straight into heavy benching. So pre-exhaustion techniques, that's really big. Don't get all stressed out over the whole like, oh, I need to be lifting heavy if I want to build a really good physique. That'll come. Wait a little bit till you have a good foundation and you know kind of what you're doing. Fourth thing is going to be like nutrition, dirty bulking, things like that. I did dirty bulk when I was in high school. I didn't really have to. I just did it because I just kind of wanted to have fun with it. If you are a hard gainer, I think dirty bulking probably is a little bit smarter. But there's like a big misconception. Some people don't eat that much at all. Some people say like you have to eat like Jay Cutler, Ronnie Coleman. You have to eat like 6-8 meals a day if you want to build muscle. You don't really have to do that. For me, I eat anywhere from 5 to 6 smaller average meals per day, and that's just because I'm a pretty hungry guy, like eating throughout the day. But you don't need to be eating that much. So make sure you're hitting your calorie requirements every day. If you don't know what yours are, I recommend getting the MyFitnessPal app or any type of calculator online to find what your maintenance calories is. And then if you want to bulk, go on a 300 calorie surplus. If you want to cut, go on a 300 calorie deficit. That's the guidelines I go by and what's worked for me. I don't believe in maintaining at all. If you are a newer lifter, I don't believe in maintaining. I think that if you are a newer lifter, you definitely should go into, I say to get a little bit lean, make sure you're around the 10 to 14% body fat range. And once you're in that range, bulk up. Spend the beginning of your years, the first 2 years at least that you're lifting, you should try to be in a small surplus. You need to build that foundation. Those are gonna be the best years where you're actually gaining the muscle mass. Build your physique. Stop worrying about being super cut up and shredded. If I go back in time, I would not cut at all. I would just keep bulking. Luckily, I did for a good amount of time. I only cut for like the first 6 months, and then I bulked up for well throughout high school, and then I started cutting when I got to college. Highly recommend. That is probably the best way to do it. Best piece of advice I can give you is cut down a little bit first, get to that solid body fat, bulk up in your beginning years. Take advantage of those newbie gains. Another thing is going to be to take progress pictures. Luckily, Snapchat memories has been a thing for the past 4 years. That's really how long I've been lifting. I take a picture of my physique almost every day I am in the gym, or videos as well. You need to be doing that because you really want to see your progress. You want to see the areas that you're strong in. You want to see the areas that you need to improve in. And then off of that, you can change your split. For example, for me, my chest and my back are strong points on me. So therefore, I don't do as much volume for my chest and my back. I go to my weaker points like my arms, my legs, stuff like that. I'll do more sets for them instead of just continuing doing a regular push-pull leg split where I'm hitting everything even. You got to kind of go on what your goals are and what you're lacking on. Progress picture is definitely going to help out with that. Also, if you ever end up becoming like an influencer, making TikTok content or something like that, you're going to want to have all those old physique pictures. I promise you that. And it's always something to kind of look back on. It's really motivating, seeing kind of how far you've come, where you've came from. So make sure you're taking those progress pictures. Last thing is going to be make sure that you are asking questions. If you see someone in the gym that is more advanced than you and you want to kind of learn a little bit, go ahead and ask questions. Make sure you're doing all of that. Also, do your research. For me, when I first started lifting, I would watch hours and hours of content from other bigger bodybuilders in the industry when I was younger, learning from them, learning what are the best supplements that I should be taking, how should I be training, what's the best exercises for these muscle groups. I was so obsessed with it. I did so much research. I looked at the scientific studies on certain supplements, certain exercises, what muscles respond best to what exercises, stuff like that. Do your research. Don't go just blindly into it and just kind of like lifting all like, oh, this feels good, I'm just gonna do this. Look at the science behind it. Look at people who are already been successful in the industry and see what has worked for them and then try to mimic it. A lot of you guys try to mimic what I do, and I definitely think that it's a good thing to do. Again, everyone is different though, so not everything's gonna work for everyone, but I highly recommend learning from other people, doing your own research before you really get into bodybuilding as like an actual sport, because it's not just a sport, it is a commitment. It is it's a lifestyle. It's not just you're in the gym for an hour and a half a day. You grow in the other hours of the day that you're not in the gym. So it is a lifestyle. But yeah, that is it for today's YouTube video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Turn the bell on. Never miss out any of the videos that I upload. I'm going to be hanging out with Hattie. Hattie's coming down this weekend. We just started going to a new gym in the Inner Harbor in Baltimore. So me and Hattie are going to go hit that. We got Airbnb. Going to be hanging out, so I'll be making a lot of content this weekend here. And then I'm actually going down to see Joe Riserfit, Joe, and Zay December 9th, I believe. So a lot of cool stuff coming up. Going to be a lot of cool content, a lot of fun stuff. And I got some really big news here coming soon about a possible clothing sponsor. So thank you guys for all the support. Appreciate you guys. Stay blessed. I'll see y'all later. Real quick, if you made it this far, thank you for watching the whole video. I want to know, I'm going to be doing some giveaways maybe here soon, or I might be making another free program. Let me know in the comments down below what would you guys want? Like, I want to give back to you guys for helping me out so much over the past year. So do you guys want me to make a free program? Do you want me to start getting on merch? Do you want me to give you I don't know, just let me know what you guys will give me some ideas so I can get back to you guys. Appreciate all of the support. Love you guys.
Listen.